Hi there, and welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today we are going to make a creamy ricotta cheese in the Ninja Foodi. And wait till you see just how easy this is. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn the Ninja Foodi on, select the sear saute. We want the high, and we're going to hit start. That's going to start to heat up the inner pot. And what I have here are all the ingredients you need to make homemade ricotta, which is not necessarily a true ricotta because usually it's made with the leftover whey from other cheese making projects. But, these are simple ingredients that most people have, ready in their refrigerator, and it's so easy and it tastes delicious. So we're gonna do it with just simple ingredients today. So I have 10 cups of whole milk. I do recommend using whole milk and not skim milk for this, or even 2%. I really recommend using whole milk. So I'm just gonna pour that into the inner pot. That was 8 cups. So now we're gonna add in the other 2. Now I'm making a large batch. You could easily cut this in half, and you could use any type of combination that you want. So I'm using the 10 cups of whole milk and 2 cups of heavy cream. I like the flavor that yields in the ricotta. However, if you wanted to use all whole milk, that will work just fine. You can skip the heavy cream. Just use 12 cups of the whole milk. So after you get your milk in, and the milk and the cream is what we have here, we're gonna sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of salt, and then just give it kind of like a little stir around. And then we just wait for the milk to start to boil. And the Ninja Foodi will heat up fairly quickly, but this is a lot of milk. So this is gonna take probably about 10 minutes or so until you start to get a nice bubbling on top. And then we'll pour in our vinegar and we'll make ricotta cheese. So you do want to give this an occasional stir as it's heating up, and that will just prevent any of the milk from scalding to the bottom. The bottom of this pot gets really hot, and we don't want the milk and the cream to scald on the bottom. So, every couple minutes or so, just go in there with your slotted spoon and give it a stir. It's been about 8 minutes, and I've stirred 2 or 3 times during that time period, and I'm starting to see a lot of steam coming up from the milk. So I am assuming it's going to start to do its rolling boil in just a minute or 2. And I just wanted to talk real quick about the liquid that's in the pot and the differences between this liquid and, let's just say, tap water. So if there was tap water in this pot, it would have already come to a boil because there is no surface tension for the steam that's built down at the bottom to break through the top and create the boiling. So I just wanted to, kind of let you guys know that because that's why you don't want to use a thicker liquid, and milk products do not do well under pressure at all. I'm gonna give it one last stir, which is going to slow down it coming to a boil, but I really do not want it to get stuck to the bottom. And that's what happens when you put milk under pressure. So what you're doing is you're superheating that milk, and you're not able to stir it, obviously, because it's under pressure. You can't get into that pot. So it is scalding on the bottom, and it's burning, and then you get that water notice. So this is gonna come to a boil in just a minute or 2, and then we will put in our vinegar and we'll make the ricotta. So I'm starting to see these little bubbles, and they're kind of popping when they reach the surface, and that's the steam escaping. And that's gonna get more rapid, and then we'll be at a full boil. So we're just gonna wait for that, and it won't take long from here at all. So to talk a little bit about the vinegar that I'm using a 1/2 cup of white wine vinegar. Now my preference personally is to use a champagne vinegar, and there's a lemon flavored champagne vinegar that I usually use, but I didn't have any and I couldn't find any at the local stores here. So I'm just using a 1/2 cup of white wine vinegar. A good quality white wine vinegar will work best, but don't worry, you're not gonna taste vinegar in your ricotta. It doesn't work like that. But I do like the little bit of the citrusy flavor that the lemon champagne vinegar imparts. I just think it's just super delicious. A watched pot never boils, so let's not watch it. I'm starting to see a lot of activity right around in here. And so I think we're just about gonna get to that rolling boil. And then I'm gonna turn the Ninja Foodi off because I don't wanna continue to heat the milk. I don't wanna scald it. So we're just bringing it up to a quick boil and then turning off the heat. All right, here we go. See it? It's happening. We are about to erupt into a full boil. This happens quick, guys, and it's kind of exciting. I'm weird like that, though. You know, these are the things that really excite me. So you see the foam's coming up. It is really working in there, and we are at a boil. So go ahead and turn the Ninja Foodi off. Give it a little quick stir. And now, this is like the coolest thing here. We're gonna pour in the vinegar, and I give it a little stir, but then I don't do much after that. I just give it a little stir, and then you will see it happen immediately. The whey is starting to separate out, and you can see that in the lighter colors here, and then we're actually making ricotta with the curds. I don't really want to disturb it though, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm also gonna take it out. See how it's still boiling here? So this is super hot. I'm gonna go ahead and take the pot out just to reduce that heat, just a tad. Because again, I don't wanna scald it. So I'm just gonna pop this out and just set it right here on the cutting board and let the rest of the magic happen. So it'll just sit undisturbed for a few minutes, and then I'll show you the ricotta cheese we made. All right, so this has just been sitting for just maybe 2 minutes, if that, and it's doing its job and everything. Now this inner pot here, or the base I should say, has cooled down enough. I mean, it's still hot, but it's not gonna bring this back to a boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back into the Ninja Foodi, just so I can clear off my work surface so you can see the next step. So the next step is to strain the ricotta cheese. Now, when I did a batch with full, just vitamin D whole milk, it really clumped up quite a bit. And it was a little bit hard. Like the curds were just a little bit tough maybe. And that's why I do recommend the combination of the heavy cream and the whole milk. You get a little softer of a curd. And that is what it looks like. And so it looks just like ricotta cheese. I mean, it is fantastic. So I'm gonna move this over here. Let me just put that back in so I have 2 hands there. Okay, so I'm gonna move this back over here. And I wanna clear away so that you guys can see what happens when we start to strain this. What I'm using here is a flour sack. And if you've watched any of my videos, well, not all of them have it in there, but a lot of them I use a flour sack. I absolutely love these. I mean, they are great for drying dishes. They are great for washing floors. Obviously, this one did not wash a floor. I have separate ones for cleaning purposes and some for straining purposes. So that's what we're gonna use it for today, is straining. I also use a flour sack to strain my yogurt, and it works perfectly. Better than cheesecloth, guys, much better. And I think you can get, I think they're about maybe $2 a piece, I think, on Amazon. I'll be sure to link to those below because you are gonna love them. I mean, really love them. My mother-in-law is the one that turned me on to them, and they are fantastic. All right, so let's start to scoop this out so that we can finish straining off the whey. Now, the firmer you want your ricotta, the longer you're gonna strain it. Now, this is a great, at this point right now, is actually, even though it's warm, I still like it. I still like it warm. So right now it's very soft and spreadable. This is delicious on a piece of toast. Oh, that's heavenly. I do miss the lemon though, I must say. The lemon champagne was just really fantastic. I'll have to get on Amazon and order some. And you know what? I'll link to that too in case you want to pick some up because it's delish. All right, so we're just gonna keep on going and setting this in here till we get all of the curds out. This is just so beautiful. I mean, and to think like you made it yourself, like I don't know. Those kind of things just really make me happy when I see that you can put a few ingredients together and make something totally different that's delicious. And you can use this in so many different ways. I mean, I'm gonna use it to make a lasagna recipe that's gonna be coming out real soon in the Ninja Foodi. And this lasagna is a special lasagna. You're actually gonna be able to feed probably 8 to 10 people with it, and we're gonna do a double stacked lasagna. So I can't wait for that video to come out. All right, so I'm just gonna keep scooping. I'm scooping instead of pouring because I don't know, I don't wanna bombard all these fragile little curds by pouring all this hot whey that's separated out from it. So I'm just doing it this way. I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but it'll also, I won't have to strain as long because I'm not getting all of the whey. Now don't throw the whey away. You want to keep that because you can use it in a ton of things, and it's really high in protein. So what I have is, this is frozen whey. So what I usually do is put it in a baggie, and this is kind of a large baggie. You could also put them in ice cube trays, and then you have just little small amounts. So whey is great when you're making bread. You can add that in instead of your liquid, and it adds some protein to the bread. You can also use the whey in smoothies. You'll never know it's there, but again, it just adds protein. So I'm sure there's a ton of different ways that you can use the whey. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, please comment below. Let me know. What do you use your leftover whey for? All right, so I've gotten just about as much out as I can, and without taking forever. So now I'm just gonna move this over a little bit so I can see where the ricotta is, where the curds are, and just sort of pick them out. Now you could also go ahead and dump this in, which I will do that a little bit later to get all of the curds out because I don't want to leave any behind. I want to strain that whey. So I will dump this after I remove it, and I'll dump it through the colander here and just catch any of the remaining curds. But that's good for our purposes. You get the gist of it and how it works and everything. So let's make a snack. I mean, I could just eat this on a spoon. It is good. But I thought, you know what? Let's make a snack. All right, so let me get this out of the way so I don't knock it over. And we're just gonna move this down here and get my little cutting board cleaned up a little bit. Then what I have is a slice of a tomato and a little bit of basil. A piece of onion would be great on this. And just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then the final ingredient for our little healthy snack here is a Sicilian lemon white balsamic vinegar. And you might wonder why I didn't use this when making the ricotta. I thought about it, I really did, but when I poured some out, it was a darker color than the white wine, and if it would be fine in the ricotta, it would work fine, but I didn't want it to darken the white curds. You know, I want to have that traditional bright white. So I decided not to use that and just go ahead with the white wine vinegar. You could also probably add some lemon juice as well. It's an acid and it should do fine. But I haven't tried that out before. I haven't tested it, so I didn't want to test it on camera. I wanted to make sure that I got this right for you guys. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is just scoop out some of these fresh, and they're warm, but that's fine because we've got the coolness of the tomato. And I'm just gonna spread this around on the tomato here. Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be so good. And I'm gonna salt and pepper. You use what kind of seasonings you like, but I like salt and pepper, so I'm gonna just lightly salt and pepper. And then I'm just gonna break up some fresh basil on top. Don't have to be too fancy. This is just a little snack. All right. Now, these would be pretty appetizers too, and then you might want to get a little fancier. You might want to use a balsamic glaze instead of what I'm going to use here, because that would give another layer of color. But I want to try the lemon, so that's what we're going to do here. So I'm just going to pour this right over top. I don't need too much. I'm just going to let it kind of go down the spoon a little bit. And that's plenty. All right, so let's give it a taste. Looks pretty, doesn't it? It looks so pretty. It's kind of fancy too. And look how easy it was. This would be great in place of, you know, a dinner salad. I mean, this would be great like served with lasagna as a little side salad. I mean, how wonderful would that be? All right, guys. I just made this up. Seriously, 30 seconds ago, I had no plans to try a snack on camera, but it's lunchtime and I'm hungry. And I didn't want to just take a spoonful of that. So I said to my husband, let's make a snack. Brainstormed a few things. I'm like, no, I'm gonna use a fresh tomato and I'm gonna use... Unbelievable. This is definitely gonna be our side salad from now on. I mean, it's fantastic. Wow. I have to save that for my husband. He needs a snack too. He's busy behind the scenes, behind the camera. So, oh gosh. So I'm so excited we made ricotta. And you can do this at home. It's super easy. It's really fast. And now I'm gonna just let this drain and I'm gonna stick this in the refrigerator until I get to working on the lasagna. So I just wanted to thank you guys so very much for all of your support, the engagement with the comments. I love reading them. I love responding, and I absolutely love getting to know you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do that if you want to, right over there.